Hello, it's Judith here. And today I'm going to expand on something I've talked about before, which is responding, not reacting. So what I mean by that is if something happens, somebody says something, maybe you say or do something, or just simply have a worrying thought, instead of doing the habitual response, you take a moment, you breathe, using my favourite breathing technique, which is in for 6, out for 6, deep breaths, breathing from your belly, making the in and the out breath controlled, slow and even. And you may only need 3, you may need more, but what it does is it creates a break between whatever's happened and what you do think about it. And when you've taken the breaths, you can then make a more rational, less emotional, less automatic decision about how you want to deal with it. Is it something you can do something about? Is it something that you just have to accept? And in thinking about this video, I decided what I'm doing next week, which is acceptance, because that is really, really hard, but very, very important. Accepting what is. If you can't do anything about it, just accepting it. So is it something you can do something about, in which case go off and do it, and it will be a reasoned response rather than an automatic response. And if it's something you can't do anything about, then I'm afraid just accept the situation and carry on with your life. But this can be used in other situations as well. So I work with clients, not very often, but I do, want to lose weight or want to give up smoking, and it can be used in those situations. So if you're trying to eat more healthily, now the summer's coming and there might be a day when it actually doesn't rain and you can get out in your summer finery, then there will be times, believe me, I've done this often enough, there will be times when you suddenly have what appears to be an unbeatable urge to eat something that isn't particularly healthy, but may well be a favourite. So, a donut, a custard tart, some chocolate, whatever. Now, I think there's 2 things that are important here, so I'm going to introduce another word. You can, first of all, when you get that trigger, that craving, and it may be through seeing the item in question or it just suddenly coming into your head, making your mouth water, again, stop. Take a few of those slow, deep breaths to calm yourself down. You may find after that, you're fine. You can just carry on with your day and, it's not an issue. Or it may be that the desire to eat whatever is still there, in which case you have a choice and you are in a position to make a more reasoned choice. I can give myself permission to eat this donut. For whatever reason, I think it's the right thing to do at the moment. And I am not going to spend the rest of the day feeling guilty because I've given myself permission. So there's another interesting thing that I might add to the acceptance video, which is giving yourself permission to do things rather than doing them and then regretting it and feeling guilty. So, yeah, you may give yourself permission and you may say, no, I'm going to go off and do something else, and I know that it will pass. I'll stop thinking about the donut and I'll be fine. Same applies to smoking, except you do not give yourself permission to have another cigarette. So once you've quit, then it's an addiction, and nicotine is still just about the most addictive drug on the planet. So there will be times when that addiction kicks in, and again, you can use the breathing. And in fact, the breathing's very relevant in this situation because for a lot of us, the relief we got from smoking was because the first thing you do when you light a cigarette, if you're not a smoker, is you take a nice big deep in breath and you let it out very slowly. So actually, it may be the breathing, not the nicotine, that is dealing with your stress. So yeah, do the breathing without any tobacco aids. And frequently you will find with a few deep breaths that the craving is gone. The cravings go quite quickly. Now, you may have to repeat this fairly frequently in the beginning, but if you are persistent, and again, and I think it's true with smoking and with weight loss, spend some time thinking about your why. Why are you doing this? What is the goal? I want to be healthy. I want to be here to spend time with my children as they grow up and my grandchildren as they grow up. So that applies both to eating and to smoking if you're overweight or addicted to nicotine. Or it can just be, I want to look good. You know, I don't like the way I look. It's making me miserable. It's making my life unhappy. I want to look good. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, you know, that's perfectly acceptable. Maybe it's a particular outfit you want to get into. Maybe it's an event. So remind yourself, if you can visualize the end game, you know, visualize yourself in 30 years time, you know, at your granddaughter's wedding or whatever, or visualize yourself, you know, at the wedding in the outfit that you have been able to buy and wear because you're now 2 sizes smaller. And finally, it works with habits. So let's take nail biting, for instance, which is something I also see people about. First of all, you have to be aware of the structure of the habit and you have to do this anyway when I'm working with you, find what is the first thing that tells you you're about to bite. Now, it might be when the nail is almost in the teeth. It might be something before that. And then when you've got that moment, in this particular case, just take the hand away, breathe for a bit, and then carry on with your day. And again, you might have to do it frequently, but the frequency will get less as you're basically telling your brain, I don't want to do this anymore. Just let's have a new habit, which is not biting my nails. And obviously there is more that we can do with nail biting if you come and see me, but try that first and see how it works, or whatever your habit is that you want to break. Okay, I hope that's helped, and we've now got the plan for next week's video, which is going to be about acceptance and maybe permission. So if I manage to remember that until next week, that's what we'll be talking about. Until then, I hope you're well and take care of yourself and enjoy the weekend, whatever the weather may bring. And I'll see you next time. Bye.